What's up, guys? Back at it. Chipotle, chapter 4 of Proverbs. And same thing, got one little mini taco, barbacoa, and the delicious guac. And even got communion with me today. But yeah, hope your Sunday is going great. Had a great time at church this morning. I went out and visited Dad's grave. And it's really humbling just to think about how brief our life is here on this earth. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. Chapter 4 of Proverbs. It's a really nice day out. I mean, it's super cold up here in Minnesota, like 7 degrees. But, yeah, you know, it's just good to remember how brief your time is here on this earth. Like, we're only here for a vanity, a breath. So I want you to meditate on that as I'm reading Proverbs chapter 4 to you. It's a very short chapter, not that long, obviously not as long as chapter 3. But yeah, hopefully you take that to heart, that what you do with your time on this earth, it matters. And all you get is a very short amount of time, so you better use it wisely. So here it is. Hear, ye children, the instruction of a father, and attend to know understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my law. For I was my father's son, tender, and only beloved in the sight of my mother. He taught me also, and said unto me, let thine heart retain my words. Keep my commandments and live. Get wisdom. Okay, so I gotta stop here. My dad, because I was just like a lot of you poor youths out there, poor college students. You know what was funny? I was working at Subway yesterday, and I'm working with Luke, right? And he's just finishing up his senior year. And he's like, you know, we used to last summer, we used to put on the tip jar college fund, and we got like $15 a night. Like, usually you only get like $5. Like $5 shared amongst you is a good night, usually, at a Subway. But the fact that they had written on their college fund on the tip jar, people just like put in 5s, you know what I mean? So I thought that was funny, thought I'd share it with you. If you guys are all poor, struggling youth college students out there, might as well put like a little sign on your tip jar saying college fund, ... LOL. So, yeah. But back to what my dad was saying. So when I was kind of like struggling with the whole money situation, because my family was middle class. My dad came from a pretty wealthy family, but not like abundantly wealthy. His dad paid for his whole college and even bought him a car. My dad bought me my first car, but it was like the Honda Beater. You know, we had fun ripping around in that thing. It was a stick shift, so I had a whole lot of fun in high school, let me tell you. And an e-brake in the snow, so you kind of get what the picture is there. But yeah, so when I was talking with my dad back in high school, he'd come into my room, right, other than the times that he was, you know, physically disciplinarian, he'd come in and give me pep talks, you know, like he would like encourage me and show me love and like basically like say, hey, you can do this, you gotta believe, you gotta believe to achieve, you know. And when it came to college and going into debt, he told me not to be scared of debt, because once you know what you know, they can never take it away from you. And I've paid over $40,000 of my student loans off. I still owe about $61,000, so I'm working my way out of debt. I'm being completely vulnerable and honest with you about that. And yeah, I went to Bethel and Northwestern, very prestigious private Christian schools where I got my degree in pastoral ministry and a minor in the Bible. And that I'm trying to teach now and actually do it the way that I feel like it's intended to be, without being rushed, without being whatever. Like, it's just my own YouTube channel, and I hope you like what you're hearing. I hope that you see what I'm doing, and hopefully it's beneficial to you. So yeah, when my dad said, like when I'm reading this, I'm thinking about my dad saying, don't be scared of debt. Know what you need to know, and you'll eventually reap what you sow. So I'm sowing the word of God, I'm sowing eternal life, and I'm going to reap earthly benefits from that via YouTube, via my book, and via just my service to mankind and to God. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Like, I'm about 150 subscribers away from getting paid on YouTube to be sharing the gospel. That's really awesome to me. I'm already getting paid. I'm on the third quarter of this book that I published on Amazon. And yeah, it feels really good to actually be in the situation I'm in. I'm not like boatload rich yet, but maybe one day I'll be looking at this camera and I'll be somewhere, you know, off on some beach, you know, enjoying my time and trying to bring some of my poor friends from Liberia and Pakistan and the trailer park. And we could have a little adventure in the Caribbean, or maybe even a little adventure over in my Norse kingdom. Or German kingdom. So back to it though, like what my dad taught me was value wisdom, value what it means to be wise and be obedient to the wisdom that you've been given from God. So back to it. He taught me also and said unto me, let thine heart retain my words and keep my commandments and live. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not. Neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. At Northwestern in Bethel, I studied the Hebrew language, the Greek language, which I'm pretty much fluent in. Like I could read everything in the Bible that's Greek, and I can understand it with like good knowledge, you know. And so Aramaic, I don't know as much, but I do have some understanding of it. Latin, I'm starting to delve into. I really want to learn German this year. That's a kind of New Year's goal of mine, is to learn the Deutsch language, the language of my ancestors. And yeah, continue to preach and teach the Bible. So forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting get understanding. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor when thou dost embrace her. She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace. A crown of glory shall she deliver to thee. Now, it's very interesting to think about a woman crowning a man. It's not this like, oh, you're my slave, you do what I say kind of thing. It's actually an image of royalty and honor. When you think about God's wisdom, which is higher than you, which is in heaven, bestowing on you a crown of glory. I was homecoming king in Hastings. I was voted on by my peers back in 2013 as the homecoming king of Hastings High School. I was captain on the football team, and there's a lot of really awesome friends and memories I made in that school and in that town. And the world has gotten a lot darker, and a lot of those same friends are now somewhat my enemies because of the way they live and the way they've chosen to follow God or basically disregard God. I still love God the same way I do back when I was in high school, with all my heart, with all my mind, with all my soul, with all my strength. And that will never change by God's grace and through His Holy Spirit. But thinking back on those times and like being crowned by Grace Roloff, right? Like she was an FCA huddle leader, captain with me. She's a great mom. She, you know, maybe has a different perspective than she used to have. I can kind of see how people's perspectives have changed over time. But yeah, like I loved her. I loved playing volleyball with her at the FCA. Like, you know, we had like this awesome volleyball thing where we like had a tournament and like see who was the best and who won, and we'd dress up kind of like crazily or whatever, but it was fun. And yeah, I just thought it was really humbling to be crowned by grace. And you know, I remember before like the thing, like they put the crown above you and they go back and forth, and like in my heart and in my mind, I don't think I've ever told this or shared this on camera, but in my heart and mind I was like, Lord, whoever you want to be crowned, let them be crowned, and like may you be glorified. And then I felt the ice cream bucket go right on my head, and I was like what? Like I didn't think I was gonna win. Usually it's not, you know, a football guy that wins it, but it was me that year. And, you know, I loved everybody in that high school, for real. Like, whether you were straight, whatever, like, I don't agree with, like, the whole LGBTQ plus agenda, but it didn't stop me from being nice to people that were. And I didn't raise up stones to kill them or anything like that, and I still haven't to this day. God may damn them eventually, and that's on God. I'm just his son, and I'm supposed to love people and lead with mercy. That was how I kind of went about it. Nowadays, they're becoming hostile and like taking up arms to like fight people. So yeah, you know, like, I'm not a Nazi. I'm a good guy. I'm a Republican. I'm a God-fearing U.S. citizen, and I've got a sense of humor about things. And I'm really severely like zealous about this book and teaching the truth. Right? Don't be a lesbian. Don't be a homo. Don't be a goddamn reprobate and go burn in hell. Like, don't do that. I would advise you not to damn yourself or to do something that would damn yourself. Like, be straight, be heterosexual, and be a good person. Be kind to people that, you know, are very, very confused or were raised in a household that was not the ideal conditions. All that said, like, I still love people. I still serve people, like food at Subway. And I am a peaceful U.S. citizen with a good head on my shoulders. And yeah, you know, like, when I think about being crowned by grace, and when I think of God crowning us with grace, it's something that is honorable. And like, this word and the things that I teach, even though you may very much disagree with them and maybe even being like incited to violence against me or wanting to kill me for what I believe that's actually biblical truth, may God bless you. May God save you. May God have mercy on you. And may he be gracious to you, as he has been to me in my life and potentially my future family, that I'm going to try and protect. But I'm not going to decline from being bold and being what I ought to be. So yeah, the image of a woman crowning a man with glory and honor, like, she's a protection. God's wisdom, this woman, this wise woman, protects God's sons, protects me. I sense God's protection in my life. Just like, I mean, Trump, dude, like, he wasn't a perfect example of a U.S. president. I actually, you know, wish he would be wiser with his words, but yeah, God definitely protected him, and God's going to protect me. That's the confidence I live with and abide in. She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace. A crown of glory shall she deliver to thee. Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of thy life shall be many. I have taught thee in the way of wisdom. I have led thee in right paths. When thou goest, thy steps shall not be straitened, and when thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble. Take fast hold of instruction. Let her not go. Keep her, for she is thy life. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it. Turn from it and pass away. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause sun to fall. Like, evil men just want to destroy people. It's a sad, sad thing. You know, it's just what they do. They try and steal, kill, and destroy, just like Satan. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the just is as the shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. The way of the wicked is darkness. They know not at what they stumble. My son, attend to my words. Incline thine ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. This also reminds me of my dad. Something he'd say. He wasn't a big Bible guy. Like, he, I think, read parts of it, but he wasn't all in on, like, I would say, reading the scriptures. He didn't really like reading in general, but he liked Civil War history. He liked history in general, But one of his sayings, the sayings of Fred Weiss that will retain in my heart and in my mind as long as I live, I'm pretty sure, unless I get Alzheimer's, which I hope to God I don't get, that would really suck. It would be a bummer just to not know who you are or your friends or family. But yeah, one of the ones that I think that I will remember the rest of my life is this: Alex, you become who you surround yourself with. Surround yourself with wise people and you'll be like them. If you surround yourself with the partiers, the drinkers, this is like the advice he gave me when I was in my room, right? One of the times he said, you know, if you want to surround yourself with them partiers and those drinkers, that's who you're going to become. You're going to become a drunk and a partier, and like that's all you're going to become. If you surround yourself with the athletes, the hardworking kids, you know, the knowledgeable dudes, you know, you're going to be like them. And you look like you got a pretty bright future ahead of you, you know? Like, he kind of just gave me that man-to-man pep talk. A lot of dads don't do that with their sons now. They don't show them that they can be something great one day, and I hope that you find that. I hope that you have that. And if you don't have that, I hope to speak that into you, for real. Whoever's watching on the other end of this camera, you can do great things. And you know what? Like, you, for real, become who you surround yourself with. Become good, become wise, become rich, become whatever. Not famous in the bad way, but famous in the good way, and like do good with your fame. Do good with your morals. You know, be a light for Christ in this world, and be mighty. Get mighty or die trying. It's a real saying. Like, you know what? Like, having somebody like God the Father in your life is good for your soul. And that was my dad to me, for good, bad, or worse. Sometimes he wasn't perfect. And on my Facebook, which got, you know, blocked for however long until they basically give it back, or until they shut it off indefinitely from what I said about the lesbians. You know what? Like, my dad punched me upside the face one day. I was being disrespectful to him. I wasn't listening to him. I was talking back, and he punched me. Pretty sure it was right here, right upside the face, or it was with the left. But he didn't hit me twice. He just hit me once. I shut up and I listened to him. I sat down too on my bed, and I was just like astonished that I got punched by my dad for being disrespectful, and I know I was. And it was tough, you know. Like, my dad had been through a lot of stuff. He believed in Jesus Christ. He wasn't a perfect dad. I don't agree with like hitting your son, but like at the same time, it's like, you know, if you read Proverbs, it's not like it's against God's law. It's not child abuse, like, to God, in my opinion. Like, it really did teach me to like shut up and listen to my dad. And so yeah, that's what's going on my Facebook right now. I compared it to the Kingdom of Heaven scene when Balian like finds his dad, and his dad knights him, right? And he goes through this, like, as his dad is dying, his dad punches him or slaps him in the side of the face, with the backhands him, right? I didn't get backhanded. I got a nice one of these right to the jaw by Fred Weiss. It made me respect him even more, honestly. Like, I was mad at first. I definitely shut up, and I'm like, okay, I pissed you off enough for you to hit me. I didn't punch back because I had read in the law, any son or daughter that strikes father or mother should be put to death. So, you children out there, never hit your mom or dad. There's a difference between like playful fighting versus like hating each other and punching each other. Like, family abuse is not a funny matter. And so, yeah, God is a perfect father, and he disciplines perfectly, and you're not to fight back with God. You know what I'm saying? So, all that said, I still love my dad, and I served him well up until his death. Yeah. If you got something like that, make a comment. I'll be praying for you. I'd pray for the people that, you know, are on my Facebook and watch my story on Instagram and Facebook. I'd like to start praying for people on YouTube too. You know, if you've been through a really severe family situation that's very, very traumatic, right? Me and my dad worked it out. We forgave each other. He still had his, like, temper tantrums that I think were a little bit, like, not exactly like God. Like, when God gets angry, he's, like, rightfully poised in his anger. Sometimes my dad would just get frustrated over little things that didn't really need to become big things, and they became big things because he didn't control his anger perfectly well. I'm trying to do that. I really am. So, yeah, getting back to it, we're almost finished up here. My son, attend to my words, and incline thine ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. And I'm very healthy, by the way. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Put away from thee a forward mouth, a wicked mouth, a bad mouth, and perverse lips put far from thee. Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. I like that. I think that's really good advice. Like, actually think about where you go in the day and what you're doing with your day. Whether you're at work, whether you're at the gym, whether you're in your, car or on a date with a girl. Like, think about what you're doing and like the quality time you're spending with what you're doing, right? Like I'm planning on going to the bar tonight, watching the Vikings and Detroit game. It's going to be an awesome time. Like I'm going to be in one of those good moods. Like everybody has some bad moods, and everybody has some good moods. Well, I'm about to be in a really, really good mood. And it's like when you're in a good mood, this is the other thing Fred Weiss taught me. It's like when you're 21, be 21. When you're 18, be 18. When you're 30, be 30. Like learn to enjoy the season of life you're in, because time is short. And now my dad's in the grave, and up his spirit and his soul is up in heaven with God the Father and with my grandpa, hopefully. So ponder the path of your feet, and let all your ways be established. Know why you're going where you're going, and also stay true to your morals in whatever situation you're in. Plan on also working in Florida for 2 weeks. There's probably going to be a lot of beautiful babes down there. Not planning on losing my virginity down there. Not at all. Trying to find a really good, high-quality queen of a woman. And if that's you, let me know. I'm looking. So, verse 27, the last one. Turn not to the right hand or to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. So if you're in a place where you know evil's going on and going down, don't be cool with that. You got to get the hell out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're at a strip club, or if you're downtown and there's a bunch of like just awful, sinful stuff, you get your ass out of there, or I will beat your ass. That's how my dad would put it. You get your ass out of there, or I will beat your ass, and I will punch you in the face. That's kind of how my dad taught me, not necessarily by his words, but straight up a fist to the face. So you either be good, or you expect discipline. And if you don't, then you're basically going to be damned. So there it is. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. And if you're okay with evil, then prepare for damnation in hell. So, signing out. Peace to you. I'm going to enjoy this food. But you better listen to your dad. And if you don't listen to your dad, expect damnation. Jesus loves you.